Hi, this is Christen Brown. I'm super excited to be part of E.E. Shank's Spring Trends. I'd like to introduce you to my new book, Creative Embroidery, Mixing the Old with the New. Happy stitching all.
If you're like me, you have stashes and probably more stashes of stuff that you save for just the right project. You're holding it, just thinking, if only I could find the right way to use these things. Well, I've got a book for you. We've got lots of projects in the book. There are gallery pieces. There are all sorts of ways that you're going to find to be able to use that stash and creatively mix the old with the new. Let the juices flow. Thank you. So this is one of the gallery pieces that are in the book. I had been given some fabrics, just these were the salvage edges, and I had a local quilter bequeath these to me, and I thought that they looked like a fence. So I thought I would have this great fence to show off my cute little birds here that are made from old tape measures. And what I did with that was I just ironed them onto Fast-A-Fuse and created the bird shape, and I even used the ends of the measuring tape for the beaks, and the wings are laundry pins. I've added in some wonderful little skinny legs out of rickrack, and they all have some fun shoes and fun hats. This piece is called Party Foul. So this piece started by rummaging through my mother's lingerie drawer. I found a green satin bag full of these handkerchiefs here, and I just loved all of the colors, and I thought, wow, these really need to be shared with the family. So I placed them on the background, and I added in some vintage feed sack fabrics to fill in the gaps, and then I just started embroidering. I had such a wonderful time mixing all the colors and then finding all of these fun buttons and colors that I could put on here. This piece is a really special piece to me. Thank you for letting me share it. This piece, called Sweet Dreams, came to me from a friend who had given me this central panel here, which I think probably was a wall hanging in a nursery. I decided to take it off the frame and make it the center for this wall hanging. I just thought we all know the special little prayer, and I just thought it was sweet to be able to use it again. I've added in vintage feed sack fabrics with it, lots and lots of rickrack trim in fun ways, and you'll learn how to do the braiding in the book that shows you how to do that, as well as the rickrack flowers and the rosettes and some other fun flowers in here as well. And this one is full of vintage, wonderful buttons and other little things. And this little piece here, right in here, this is my family. My daughter is the ladybug, my husband's the frog, and I'm the bunny. This piece here is called Pistachio Moss, and I think the most striking aspect of this particular piece are all of the wonderful vintage laces. These were bequeathed to me by my sister-in-law's mother's husband. His mother, Yvonne, collected lace, and I was lucky enough to acquire most of that lace. So here, this is a representation of just a little portion of it. I've dyed the laces so that they matched the colors that I actually dyed this background here too. And I just love the colors in here. So we've got vintage laces, we've got ribbon work flowers, lots of embroidery, lots of wonderful shell buttons in here. This is just a piece that has some special memories. So this is a fun piece. This piece is called Notions of Spring, and it's got lots of ribbon work flowers, and all of these you learn how to make in the section called Altering the Past. There's a way to use up all that hem tape that you'll probably never use on your garments, all of that vintage rickrack that you've got, and even some zippers. I try to use elastic instead of zippers. So that's a fun place to use all of those wonderful notions that you just didn't get rid of. And this has also got some vintage snaps in it, some safety pins, and the wooden buttons were a gift from my father-in-law Richard and his wife Alice. Just a fun piece, Notions of Spring. So this piece, Into the Garden, you can see I've embroidered it right in here, was the first piece that I created for this book. I had made a strip piece background just of various linen fabrics. I even have a sleeve from a jacket that I had cut the sleeve off, so I shortened the jacket. And I just had this wonderful background, but I didn't want to address each seam individually. I wanted you to be able to see a garden and really enjoy the flowers and the birds and the bees and all of that on here. So the embroidery goes over several sections of the strip piecing. We've got a sun in here. We've got several spider webs just because I think those are fun. And I always like to put a spider in when I can. I'm deathly afraid of spiders, but button spiders make me laugh, so then I'm not so afraid of them. This has got some wonderful treatment on both sides. You'll learn how to make the penny circles. You'll also learn how to use a lot of the buttons in here. And then we've got this fun little bird's nest here that's just made out of hem tape that you'll never probably use in a garment, but it's fun to be able to make a bird's nest out of it. And I hang it from an old hanger that belonged to my mom. I just thought it was a fun way to incorporate that into it too, Into the Garden. This piece is called Bees Buzz on a Saturday Afternoon. It started with vintage pieces, and then I found newer pieces to mix in. And I shall say that in my stash, this piece here was from my first job, which was probably many years ago. And I paired it with this fun little print here that I found probably about 20 years ago. I already had this 9-patch square here already made, and I thought, well, what could I balance with that? So I went ahead and did a strip piece here. So I've got my 4 sections balanced, and then I just started embroidering and adding in. We've got a vintage jacquard ribbon here that I was able to use throughout. We've got some more measuring tape, little birdhouses here this time. We've got some fun trims, and then I think I've got 2 favorite things on this. I love the cats sitting on the fence here. They're just fun. I think that was a fun way to use the buttons. And then we've got a little array of Scotty dogs. These are just little scatter pins that I found on eBay, except for this one. My cousin Richard made me that in high school, and I've finally found a place for it that will stay there forever. So this is one of my favorites, Bees Buzz on a Saturday Afternoon.